Don't be confused by that. Okay? These judiciary hearings are extremely boring. So the hat is for you to pay attention long enough to hear these people talk. Okay? That's the whole motive behind that. Okay? Now when you bring up DEI, okay, it shouldn't be a bad thing. We should talk about these things. Alright? I want everyone to be included. Alright? But I want the best people to be included. Okay? If you ain't the best, then you can't be included. Alright? So change the verbiage. Because it ain't working. Listen to the FBI Director talk about DEI.
Well, once again, as Congressman Fry said, we want to thank you for your time and a lot more information today than Monday. So thank you for that. I just have a handful of questions. I would love to have just a simple yes or no so we could get done with this.
Right.
So on day one, President Biden issued an executive order mandating DEI programs in the executive branch. You responded by hiring FBI's first ever Chief Diversity Officer. You're even on the Bureau's website quoting saying that diversity and inclusion of the workforce is something I care deeply about because the success of our efforts impacts our operations, our culture, and our future. End of quote. So Director, just a simple yes or no, do you still find DEI hiring practices to be central to the FBI's operations, cultures, and future?
I believe that diversity is an important part, is a core value of a high-performing organization.
Do you have any concerns that our Homeland Security efforts will be hampered if the FBI continues to use DEI as a primary hiring measure?
I don't believe that we use DEI as a primary hiring metric. I would say that we have not lowered our standards.
Yes or no, please?
Let me, if I could finish.
No, he said
It's not a
yes
yes or no question. We have not lowered our standards, and the facts back that up.
Are you aware of a 112-page report compiled by senior agents and analysts which stated, quote, if the current trajectory of the FBI special agent recruitment and selection continues, using DEI as the primary and sole measure of our Homeland Security efforts will be significantly hampered. Do you know about that 112-page report?
I'm aware of a report from a number of anonymous former employees.
Thank you. Do you agree that protecting the former president falls under the umbrella of Homeland Security?
Well, protecting the former president, the physical security, the protective detail on the former president is the province of the Secret Service, which is part of the Department of Homeland Security.
It is my understanding that historically the FBI had 100,000 applications for special agents on file at any given time of the year. So talking about slipping recruitment, are you aware that on February of 2024, a letter from the FBI's Assistant Director for Training Division, which reported that FBI only received an estimated 48,000 applications over a 2-year period?
I don't know if we're comparing apple to apple. What I can tell you is that in the time that I've been FBI director, the number of Americans applying to be special agent has gone up dramatically. To the tune of, in some cases, double or triple the pace
So
it
the
was when
48,000
if I
is
could
on?
finish, sir, if I could finish, please, to a rate that is higher. You'd have to go back about a decade or so to find the number of Americans applying to be special agents that are currently applying.
Okay, so for the record, that 48,000 is probably wrong then in your eyes?
I don't know. I don't have the letter in front of me, but what I'm not sure of is that we're comparing apple to apple in terms of time periods and everything else.
In advance of the Trump shooting, United States Secret Service Special Agent in Charge Tim Burke reportedly told law enforcement partners that NATO summit in Washington, D.C. limited his resources available to the Trump rally. The service has similar DEI hiring aims and failed their zero-fail mission to protect President Trump. Director Cheadle has since stepped down. Could the hyperfixation on hitting Biden administration's imposed DEI rules by causing the FBI and the federal law enforcement agencies to not only miss their prime candidates, but also potential threats?
Well, I can't speak to Secret Service's hiring practice. What I can tell you is that, in my view, diversity, like everything else, is something that has to be done in the right way. Just like everything else, there's a right way and a wrong way to achieve it. I think we can and have achieved improvements in diversity and at the same time not lowered our standards. And I think part of the reason we've been able to do that is because of the encouraging increase in the number of Americans applying to be special agents.
The investigation to the planting of pipe bombs at the RNC and DNC headquarters has been going on for over 3.5 years and will soon have lasted longer than the Biden presidency. I look forward to you proving yourselves, because we haven't received any update right now on the Trump shooting since July 15th, and the people really need that. Can the public expect a more transparent and timely investigation into the attempted assassination of former President Trump?
I've been testifying here all day about the investigation into attempted assassination of former President Trump, and we've done multiple briefings, and I've answered multiple questions.
And we appreciate that, because,
okay,
like
that's
I
what
said,
you were asking.
Well, it just seems like there hasn't been a press conference to the people to go through all the different details that were already presented today. And I'll just leave you with one final question. The government is not doing their job. Do you feel, as the director, that perhaps, like, not only the FBI but the Secret Service needs to have a complete reconstruction? Or do you think it's still put together the way that could best do its job?
The FBI that I see every single day, having visited all 56 of our field offices at least twice, many of them 3 times, the FBI that I see engaging with state and local law enforcement from all 50 states, that I hear about from prosecutors, judges, business leaders, community leaders, foreign partners, is an FBI that is respected, trusted, appreciated, and that is there for people when they need them the most. And that is the FBI that I see, and I'm very proud to be a part of them.
Any comment on the other agencies?
Doesn't matter what he says there. A 20-year-old got through. Humans were telling him, there's someone over there, a ladder on top, way before. All that I'm going to say there is, people didn't do their job good. How's that? We'll leave it at that. Let's just say that. And when you don't do your job good, you get fired. Okay? And then when you look into why some people aren't doing their job good, and you see that there might be this DEI thing in front of it, and then they try to use racism and division, because I'm like, yo, I'm all about diversity, but can they be the best of the most diverse? What are we doing? Not good at your job, you get fired. Elected officials, you don't do your job good, you get fired. And the FBI, since when do they tell the truth? Since when does news, the FBI, the government, social media places, how do you even know I'm telling the truth? I'm just showing you what I see.